Tonight, someone can cheat without leaving a bedroom. A phone lights up under a blanket. A message gets deleted before anyone sees it. A password protects a second life. Modern cheating can hide inside glass, Wi-Fi, and silence. But imagine the same problem before any of that existed. No phone, no locked apartment, no hotel room, no private car parked far from home, no one-person bedroom where a secret could disappear. Just a small camp, a fire, a few shelters, and people who knew your footsteps. If an ancient human betrayed a partner, they were not hiding from an app. They were hiding from people who knew where they slept. People noticed who walked away from camp. People noticed who came back late. People noticed who shared food with whom. They noticed who sat too close near the fire. So did ancient humans cheat? The modern word is new, but the older problem is simple. What happens when desire breaks trust? That question may be older than cities, marriage licenses, and written laws. We cannot dig up a fossilized affair. Archaeology can show bones, tools, shelters, burials, and footprints. It cannot show a secret glance between two people at night. So the honest answer is not that we know every rule of ancient romance. The honest answer is that betrayal probably existed wherever loyalty was expected. Humans are not perfectly monogamous fairy tale creatures, but humans are also not random animals with no bonds. Across cultures, people form strong partnerships. People attach, choose, miss, protect, and get jealous. A pair bond is not just a mating arrangement, it is an emotional alliance. It is the person whose absence changes the whole day. For ancient humans, that alliance could matter as much as a tool or a fire. Food had to be found, children had to be watched, injuries had to be carried, cold nights had to be survived together. A partner was not only someone you liked, a partner could be part of your survival system. That is why betrayal could feel dangerous. If one person secretly gave attention, affection, or intimacy to someone else, the damage was not only romantic. It could change who helped raise a child, it could change who shared food, it could change who defended whom during conflict, it could turn two families inside the same camp against each other. But ancient cheating would not have looked the same everywhere. Some groups may have had strict expectations around partners, others may have allowed more flexible relationships, some societies allowed premarital relationships, some tolerated multiple partners in specific situations. Others treated outside relationships as a serious betrayal. The same behavior could be harmless in one culture and explosive in another. Cheating only exists when a rule exists. So the better question is not whether ancient humans were morally identical to us. The better question is what counted as betrayal in their world. In a small camp, privacy was thin. People slept near one another. Children wandered everywhere. Elders watched everything without needing cameras. A strange absence could become a story by morning. Footprints marked soft ground. Smoke, voices, and movement carried through open air. A missing person was obvious when everyone depended on everyone else. That made secret romance harder. But harder does not mean impossible. Humans are creative when they want something. A trip to gather plants could become an excuse. A hunting trip could become a cover. A walk to the river could become a meeting. A long conversation at the edge of camp could become suspicious. A glance near the fire could say more than words. And because everyone knew everyone, gossip may have been one of the oldest security systems. Before written law, rules lived in faces. They lived in laughter, anger, silence, and who refused to sit beside whom. If trust broke, the group had to respond somehow. People could mock the betrayer. They could separate the couple. They could pressure one person to leave. They could forgive it because losing a skilled hunter, gatherer, healer, or parent might hurt the group more. Or they could let the tension stay because small groups cannot always throw people away. Jealousy was probably part of this world. Jealousy is not a beautiful emotion. It makes people suspicious, possessive, and ridiculous. But from an ancient survival view, jealousy may have acted like an alarm. It watched for threats to a bond. It watched for rivals. It watched for the moment care, food, protection, or status might move to someone else. For men, one ancient fear may have been investing in children who were not biologically theirs. For women, one ancient fear may have been losing a partner's help to another person. But both men and women could fear abandonment. Both could fear humiliation. Both could fear being replaced in the eyes of the group. That is why cheating was not only a bedroom problem. It could create conflict between allies. The rival might not be a stranger. The rival might be a friend, a cousin's partner, or someone needed for tomorrow's hunt. A secret affair could split a camp into sides. It could make two hunters stop trusting each other. It could make families hesitate to share food. It could make everyone ask a terrifying question: who is still loyal? Later, farming, property, inheritance, and formal marriage may have made cheating even more legally and socially serious. Once land, animals, and family names mattered, sexual loyalty could become tied to wealth and lineage. But before all that, before courts and paperwork, the core problem was already there. A promise was invisible, but the consequences were not. The whole group could feel the damage when trust cracked. So yes, ancient humans probably cheated, depending on what their society counted as cheating. Not with late-night apps, not with blue check marks, not with screenshots, but probably with hidden meetings, jealousy, awkward silence, broken promises, and people pretending not to notice. Modern people like to think our relationship problems are modern, but the phone did not invent secrecy. It only made the hiding easier. The old campfire version was slower, messier, and harder to escape. Maybe ancient humans did not have our word for cheating. Maybe their rules were different. Maybe some bonds were looser and some were stricter than ours. But the pain of broken trust was probably recognizable. Because before love became a status, a ring, a password, or a private message, it was already something dangerous. It was a bond other people could depend on. And when that bond broke, the whole camp could hear it.